motherfucker, psychopathic. Psychopathic.
Thought you knew, bitch. RCP made up a psychotic, demented, psychocalyptic motherfuckers. And we might put a hook on your throat like it ain't nobody's business.
I'm standing by the train tracks. Then you see me running butt naked with a battle axe. I'm swinging and slicing and chopping and cutting and until I'm none. Seems like I always get beat down, like the hawk turned to the wicked clown. Tiptoe back to the ghetto zone, cause it's
South West Detroit, this demented one's home.
So you might see me at a festival, cussing rude and scratching my testicles with a cold 2 liter at hand. Rapping to the bitch at the French fry stand, take it to the patent park. Then I'll make a sexist remark, cause they're all eventually bitching. So if we fucking, take your ass to the kitchen. Police don't like me, it's obvious. Just don't look in the trunk, or the sight'll make you sick. Violent J, motherfucker, psychopathic.
Some of that Fago over here. Like it up, man. Come on, man. You farted, didn't you? I should sock your ass, man. You farted.
What, man? What? Your license and registration. That's what, you little fuckface.
Hey, yo, man. Fuck you, you fat jellyfish motherfucker. What the fuck out of the bitch, come on, man. Fuck you. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I've always been a psycho.
Psycho.
Out throwing rocks at stray dogs, building crack houses out of Lincoln logs. I cut classic, I was a faker. You was in school, I was home watching Green Acres. Now I'm all up in your face. You can barely hit a rat with all that bass. I'm running with a Southwest street gang, and I never let my Southwest meat hang. Cause you know what ICP's all about. Take a brick out the street and bust you in the mouth. Find a girl's daddy's rich, and his sweet little angel's my sewer freak bitch. But I throw the turkey out after the stuffing, like Billy Bill say, a bitch ain't nothing. Grab her by the arm and break it. Grab her by the life and take it. And you know, this sight'll make you sick. Violent J, motherfucker, psychopathic. Psychopathic. Come on. Psychopathic. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Psychopathic. Come on. Psychopathic. Bring it back now. Come on. Psychopathic. Bring it back now. Psychopathic. Yeah. Psychopathic.
Yeah?
Well, then I sucked his nuts.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wow, did you fuck him?
Well, yeah, he fucked me in the ass.
Wow, what about Rodney?
Fuck him. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Hold on a second. Hello?
Hey, you dumb fucking bitch! I heard you fucked on me! What the fuck you doing? When I see him, I'ma kick your motherfucking...
Hi.
Well, who was that?
Oh, wrong number.
The Primorje region, containing an endangered species of lotus flower, has dried up. The Solonaya Pad Reserve was home to the Komarov lotus flower, featured on the International Red List of critically endangered species. Many other rare and protected species shared this unique ecosystem. The lake was bought by businessmen in 2008, and locals hold them responsible for its demise. Ecologists flagged up the danger early last year, and in December the lake became state property, but by then it was unfortunately too late.
Mud, water, and finally air. 3 stages of a lotus till you'll notice we there. The heat from the sun, vanish life into dust. Rain clouds in the sky above us, why don't you bust? Let it rain, cool waters over fields so bland. Drain down, filling up ponds and the land. Lotus flowers float upon the waters you give. Come and nourish our souls, we need your gift. life to live. I sit by the window pane, waiting for the wind and rain. When will it fall down again? Make me strong inside and win. Hateful comes along and hear the words of the song. And everybody sings along as the rain is making me strong. And even when it's gone, I can feel it raining on me. So let the song be the proof that the rain is just what we need. For all of those trying to grow, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. And for those trying in the heat of the sun, let it rain, let it pour. How about a rainstorm? The winds from the heavens guide my sail. The rain colors my petals. Without it, I'm pale. The stems to the bud. Flowers need rain, to them it's like blood. Without water drops, everything stops. Death to the crops, ecosystem flops. Therefore, let the winds blow the gray clouds in. Sound the thunder, let the rain begin. Let the rain begin. Let the rain begin. Let the rain begin.
Let it flow like the river Georgia. Baptized and renewed in the rain like the son of man in John's hand. Bow your head, Father of the Lotus branch. I hope this rain is the same. Roots deep down in rain. Winds on the plains, ain't no change in the sky. From the clouds that form in the night way up high. Let it rain down, let it saturate the ground with the gift that brings life to everything around. For all of those trying to grow, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. And for those trying in the heat of the sun, let it rain, let it pour. How about a rainstorm? For all of those trying to grow, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. And for those trying in the heat of the sun, let it rain, let it pour. How about a rainstorm?
Let it rain on the life and the pond so vibrant. With exception to the rain, the night's so silent. It's an easy storm. Let the lotus flourish. Rain drops on its petals. The food to nourish when the skies in the land below get along. Its colors are bright and its stem is strong. Let it rain in the woods. Let it rain in town. In the driest deserts, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down.
Rain clouds are crying, rocks in the form of tears. No umbrellas are needed here. Waiting deep in water was corrosion from a drought as they withered, waiting in fear. The first crash of thunder, the lightning appeared clear. Was a sign from the heavens, more rain would soon be near. Uncontrollable thirst, eyes are fixed to the sky as we wait for the magical rain that heal and bring light, rejuvenating through the night, making everything right.
For all of those trying to grow, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. And for those trying in the heat of the sun, let it rain, let it pour. How about a rainstorm? a fucking penny pincher.
I never give an inch.
Short arms and deep pockets.
Be sure to lock it.
Real special.
You won't go driving through our neighborhood.
You fucking. You woman wait on you to sleep.
Then sneak out on a creep and come back home and kiss you.
Leave some none on your cheek because that bitch a freak.
But you just fake like you asleep.
You fucking.
This motherfucker got a chicken neck. Fool ain't never earned a check.
You took a watch off a dead man and then we're called record scam. Man, you live your life
As weak as you can.
You fucking. Bitch, you got a big fucking ass, titties flashing like strobe lights.
Bitch, you know we gotta go, but you ain't fucking tonight. You ain't right.
I think I know what's wrong with you, boo.
You're fucking.
Get your stale ass off me. Jump back off. Bang your stale ass off. I'm fresh. So fresh. So fresh.
So fresh, cause I won't have stress. No stress.
Jump back off. Get your stale ass off me. Jump back off. Bang your stale ass off. I'm fresh. So fresh. So fresh. And I don't need that staleness. Bitch ass. Most ways and still swear that you're pimpin'.
Plus you're 30-something or other, supported by your mother.
Fucking junkies without a rubber, you motherfucker.
You're fucking. These rappers wicked shit with panties on under their jeans out here.
Acting like they top gun for blood when I pop
You
one.
get a bullet in your smile, disrespecting our style.
You fucking. You this
as if you legit,
but to me you just an ass.
talking poop and shit.
You know that you should quit
Before we boot your lip,
You fucking.
you say you seen a Bigfoot in your backyard.
You need to get smacked hard.
You're stalking a fat lawn.
The windows and doors barred.
You covered up the tattoo hand of a Joker's card.
You fucking. Jump back off. Get your stale ass off me. Jump back off. Bang your stale ass off. I'm fresh. So fresh. So fresh.
So fresh, cause I won't have stress. No stress.
Jump back off. Get your stale ass off me. Jump back off. Bang your stale ass off. I'm fresh. So fresh. So fresh. And I don't need that staleness.
I'm fresh, so fresh.
Don't know why you was born like this, but I know I can.
And all the skeletons were dancing. And all the skeletons were dancing.
There's someone new, you ain't like nobody else, like nobody else. There's someone new, but you ain't no one to dance, you ain't no one to dance.
Chapter 17.
Don't spend money on me, I'm gonna be just fine. Blow your money on me, life is a long time. Oh no, nothing is free, breathing is sacrifice. All your money on me, you gon' be just fine. No, nothing is free, you're paying something to live, something to live. And then there's nothing to see, nothing to see. There's
Divine and Jay and DJ Clay. And we just trying to say two little motherfucking things. Yo, fuck up!
TikTok, riddle, box, fuck MTV and all radio jocks. Look at me, a hideous RC freak. Make your eyeballs melt, drill down your cheeks. Sneaky, lifeless, snatch your soul. Add your face to my totem pole. Fuck your radio friendly box. I won't change my wicked shit for you pussy fucks. Fuck your company, fuck your marketing strategy. You can't pinpoint my record sales. Juggalos ain't watching your shit. Fuck K-Rock, y'all need to quit taking payouts, spending that weak ass shit. We underground to the very end. Anybody that's following us, say fuck them. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Off my back. They say you want me to a big head. Slap your teeth up off the floor and don't come back no more. Shut the fuck up, close your lips. You don't have a clue what you talking about. See the surface in your mouth, start to run. I can be Juggalos say fuck them. Who is it? Who is it? Maggots can't fuck with the shaggy, cause I got a creep. Bitch, I cool like you ain't never even known. Carnival freaks from the ghetto zone. All waiting for the day to put you in your place. I'll have the fat bearded lady singing at your face. You think you're the shit, cause you think you got the upper hand. But won't you come and be my boy, the strong man? And he'll grab you by the head, tease and tell him pop. And shake your motherfucking neck until your head is pop. Cause I'm running with the beyond your motherfuckers. I'll make a voodoo doll love ya and flicking nuts. See how we on, because I kill a Connie Ruckus. I came up and then never told them motherfucker. I leave the screwdriver sticking halfway out your dome. The worst part about it is I'm not alone. And they would look and stick their thumbtacks on my seat. And they would throw their spit balls at that class freak. And every one of them bitches died in their sleep. Cause I'm looking around with books at the sucker bar. Crystal balls, black magic, and joker's cards. And at night, just when I'm feeling lonely, the clowns come to my bed and juggle for me. So don't fuck with the shags, cause I cast spells. And don't come cry to me when your tongue swells. I'm hanging with weak shows, like Crab Boy, Snake Boy, Flipper and Stab Boy. And a man who can eat his own fucking face and then shit it out and screw it back in the place. If you don't think so, you can suck my bone. Cause I tried telling you, man, I'm not alone. But they don't care. They push you with your motherfucking head.
But I really like to hang with those rubbernecks. A freak show from the circus that you don't know. And I fuck the lion lady in a hole. And sometimes she doing acrobatic flips on my nuts, and it feels so good. So tell your boys that they yell a bunch of chump suckers. I walk around your neighborhood choking motherfuckers. I used to be a fool, but now the numbers got juice. Shit changed when I started hanging out with Zeus. And if you take it out, you know I'm coming back again. With my homeboys Jack and the Cannon Man. He comes flying out the barrel doing Mark 9. With his
That's why. What's up?
with the sash, cause the flow is kicking. I throw a curse and turn your rest into a chicken. So when you see me by my lonely in the end zone, motherfucker, you better realize I'm not alone. Deep in the night, thought I was a nerd, but you picked up all the but they don't get.
Welcome to the Dark Carnival.
I be twisting up, smoking blunts up in the backseat. I be riding high when the Reaper gonna snatch me. On the whole of grudge, she the demon tryna catch me. Nothing full of hashies, jumping these rap sheets. I be in the west scoping shit with the system up. I'm tired of the lies, motherfucker, system up. I'm out here in the rage, mask on my face. And fuck anybody tryna hate up on the night and see the shadows in the web. See that blood trap.
So the reason why that 6 cool shit and show up and no one thought I was need.
She fucking wicked cause I hit the plug, then I dip out with that briefcase. And if I got the plug will help me beat the case. Trash cup for the snake, straight grip for the face. Shot the birthday with me with the moves I'm about to make. Smoking blunts up in the backseat. I be riding high when the Reaper gonna snatch me. On the whole of grudge, she the demon tryna catch me. Duffel full of hashies, ducking these rap sheets. 3 a.m. I'm whipping down the freeway. See the ghost, it's the devil in my keychain. Think I might die before I ever see fame. Shit be getting crazy living around me these days. Now I believe you don't really wanna go to war. Wrong with me, but you know I grab the devil horse. Somebody told me watch that cloud when it rained it pours. And I've been killing shit so much that I forgot to score. And I got real got gossip, say that hoe. Talking about that H triple bitch, I bang that foe. We be illin' outside while you stay at home. Yeah, I been the OG, so fuck all them clones. Hey bitch, I move like the mafia, like can sign me up. For all them bitches on the other side, they copy us. Pull up on your spot, everything I'm bustin' shit. Dump you in the gutter when you fucking with that extra shit. Bust up in the backseat. I be riding high when the Reaper gonna snatch me. On the whole of the world, see the demon try to catch me. Cover full of hash, got me knees rap shit. I be twisting up, smoking bust up in the backseat. I be riding high when the Reaper gonna snatch me. On the whole of the world, see the demon try to catch me. Cover full of hash, got me knees rap shit. I be twisting up, smoking bust up in the backseat. I be riding high when the Reaper gonna snatch me. On the whole of the world, see the demon try to catch me. Cover full of hash, got me knees rap shit.
You know, the irony of life is that you have.
Hey, Jess, I could barely hear you when you were talking. All right. Well, I'm gonna let this last song ride out, and then we'll start up with me. Yeah, your mic was on, Jess. I thought you were trying to talk.
Flying over frozen mountains, crystal rivers, and geyser fountains.
Drifting above China's mystic forest, flow with the breeze across seas to shores.
Deserts, cactus, and tumbleweeds.
Irish meadows and fields of green.
Glide through cities of brick and stone. Broken arrows of ancient Rome.
Come on and fly with me. Come on and fly with me. Come on and fly with me.
Haunted woodlands for big trails.
Dust devils caves and OK corral.
Castle halls, underwater falls. Pyramids crumble when nature calls.
Skies of blue become black as stars. Lightning bugs kept within jars.
Sand moves slowly through the hourglass.
Wings spread, we can all fly at last.
Everybody come and fly away. You must believe that you can fly away. Spread your wings and come and fly away. Just believe that you will fly away.
Rock will melt, cold crystallize. Clouds and skylines materialize.
Wings spread, take flights over northern lights.
Wolves howl over blood-red moonlit nights.
We're kings and queens within our dreams. The sky rings diamonds or ruby rings. Oceans, rivers,
Lakes and ponds.
lions,
Unicorns.
birds and palms. Muslims travel to the land of Mecca.
Atlantis hidden deep under forever. Iceland golden tombs of Pharaoh kings.
Rainbows sprinkling diamond rings. Voices crying out echo carries.
Angels dance with the cryptic fairies.
Gates of afterlife open swiftly.
Stay if you wish, or come fly with me.
Everybody come and fly away. You must believe that you can fly away. Spread your wings and come and fly away. Just believe that you can fly away.
Open your imagination beyond anything conceivable. Allow the unbelievable to take complete
drift higher and higher into the moon's rays. Come on.
Everybody come and fly away. You must believe that you can fly away. Spread your wings and come and fly away. Just believe that you will fly away. Everybody come and fly away. You must believe it. You must believe it. Spread your wings and come and fly away. Just believe it. Everybody come and fly away. You must believe that you can fly away. Spread your wings and come and fly away. Just believe it. Just believe it. Everybody come and fly away.
All right, we got like 2 more minutes. Y'all want one more song?
You can't hear me? Because I can't hear you, your mic's muted.
Oh. You got this crazy noise.
I know, it's my fucking headphones. Hold on.
You got those black-eyed peas kicking in.
No, it's my headphones. For sure, it's my headphones. Hello? Is that better?
Yeah.
Alright, dope. Alright, well, it is 6 o'clock, so we'll just go ahead and start this off. My name is D, and I am a member of Juggalos in Recovery. I'm here to run the New Year's Day meeting. We're going to have a story time with one of our regulars, Emily. It has been an amazing experience to get to know you from the gathering through the meetings virtually online, and I'm sure as well as me and all the other group members, we are excited to hear your story and what you have to say about your experience in life and your strength and all the things you overcome and your journey into sobriety these last 2 years. And with that, I will open the floor to Emily to share her experience, strength, and hope for all the other scrubs out there.
Thanks, Dee. Okay, so this is my first time doing this, so I am a little nervous. I have some notes written down, but I love that I have my friends here to kind of help guide me through doing this. With that being said, like I want to preface that I still kind of like feel like an infant in my sobriety. I have been sober for a little over 2 years. My birthday is November 25th, 2021. But I've only started like working the steps since like really recently and started kind of going to meetings in July. Juggalos in Recovery is actually what finally pushed me back into the program, but I'll talk about that at some point. I knew that I was an alcoholic before I ever picked up my first drink. I am like multi-generational addict. My father, my grandfather, many of my cousins, it's mostly alcohol and opioids is like my family's drugs of choice, but if you have my last name, you've tried it all. And I really think that the root of my addiction is like half genetic because of all that, and then half of it is also just like the generational trauma that's like carried on. You know, I've always believed that there was something inherently wrong with me. Like my earliest memories that I have is me feeling different than like my friends, the other kids in my class, the kids I played soccer with. Like I always felt like there was something about me that was less than. And that I had to like, while everyone else like deserved inherent like love and empathy, that it was like something that I had to perform for. And I even remember having like little addictions as far back as like, 8 years old. Like I've struggled with really bad relationships with food and dieting. And I remember even being like 8 and like not being able to have sodas and like sneaking them into school in my backpack and like chugging them in the bathroom because it like felt good to do this thing I wasn't allowed to do like in private. So that kind of started off, through high school, and then I got into drinking. I when I started drinking, I at first it was like the opportunity to prove that I could like be the fun party girl. Like I was fucking wild. Like my first like 5 years of drinking, like, and there was a lot of people that would tell me how fun I was. Like there was nothing I wouldn't do. Like I was like stunt woman basically at that point. And then there got to some point where people started getting concerned and telling me, like friends of mine would tell me that they thought I had a problem drinking. And I would get really mad when I would hear it because I had seen the alcoholism in my family and, people losing jobs, people getting very sick, and none of that was me. Like, I could be like 19 years old and down a bottle of tequila with just one friend and, we'd be sick for like the next day, but like I wasn't losing my job over it. I wasn't losing my life over it. So I'd get really offended when people would tell me that I had a problem. And that kind of persisted and kind of got worse. And I remember the first time that somebody really sat me down and tried to talk to me about it. And I got so offended. It was like this guy that was trying to fuck my roommate. And he was visiting us, and I already didn't like him. And he told me that when I got drunk, I started acting weird. And it was the first time that I was told I was weird, that it wasn't just like being fun. And it really upset me because everything else was like fun. Like I was always pushing the limits. I was always getting into stupid shit. Like we did this thing called beer Olympics, and like I was like the reigning champion of all of our friends. And like they literally had to set a new rule for like because of me that you weren't allowed to throw up. Because I like realized this hack that if I could throw up, I could keep going and I could carry the team. So I think when that guy sat me down is kind of when I like crossed that invisible line that we all want to talk about. And drinking became an opportunity for me at that point. It became less about being the star of the party, but rather when I could get drunk, I could start talking about the things about myself that I didn't like. Back to that shame and secrecy that I talked about feeling when I was younger and how I liked to do these things in secret because I felt shame about them. When I would get drunk, I would talk about how I hated myself and I would cry and I would tell everyone how I wanted to kill myself and how I was a bad person and couldn't even really give the reasons why other than there's just something wrong with me. And that's what drinking became to me. The night that I finally admitted to myself that I really had a fucking problem, I got really embarrassed by something that happened. And instead of, I had already been drinking at that point, but instead of talking about it with my friends that were there, so I live in New Orleans, and there's like a bar. There's more bars than churches. There's more bars than pizza joints. There's more bars than anything else you could find. I had gone on a 2-mile bike ride to this bar, which doesn't sound like that far, but in New Orleans, that's like 50 fucking bars. And so I had started crying after I got embarrassed at this bar, and I stopped at every single bar on the way home to have another drink and to start crying and telling every single person that I met at the bar why I fucking hated myself. And I biked home. I got home safe. I tucked myself into bed and woke up in the morning and didn't even remember it until I started running into people over the course of the next few days who would stop me and be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I finally had all these pieces put together. And that was when I realized, and tried to really fucking came to terms with the fact that like I was drinking because I hated myself and I needed to tell people that I hated myself, but I didn't know how to do it with my words because there was just so much shame inside of me about having feelings. Fuck. I So it took me a few more months I had a few quit attempts, and it took me a few more months to actually stop. I remember, so I actually, the day I got sober was Thanksgiving, and I went to a friend's house, and I picked up a bunch of wine for us, and I was already, holidays are really hard for me. I got to my friend's house, and I left the bottles of wine in the car, and I was like, I don't want to do this tonight, and I didn't do it again, which was crazy. But I white knuckled the beginning of my sobriety for 18 months. And part of it feels kind of crazy when I think about it, because I was not healing, but it also kind of made sense for me too, because I was just so comfortable with suffering, and I was so comfortable with hating myself, that I was like still engaging in behaviors that allowed me to hate myself, even if it wasn't involving drinking. Like, I was still having sex that I didn't feel good about. I was blowing my bank account. In ways that I didn't feel good about. I mean, nobody ever feels good about that. But I would do these things just to self-sabotage, and I would say, well, fuck, at least I'm not drinking, like and it's true. My health was getting better, but like I was still doing these things because I hated myself, and I would still find time to like cry alone about hating myself, even if I wasn't doing it in a bar to strangers. So fast forward to this past summer, I went back to the gathering. I hadn't, I've been a juggler since I was like 8 or 9. And I hadn't been to the gathering in a few years because I wanted to, COVID, and then I wanted to focus on my sobriety. And I ended up getting put next to the tent, like with my car pass. Like, it was totally just like kismet how it happened. And I ended up like really connecting with the group. And coming to a meeting every day there, sometimes 2 a day. And I just like, I think it was the first time in my life that I really felt seen. I was opposed to going to AA because I grew up in Alateen, and then when I transferred to Al-Anon, it just, nothing felt right anymore. And I had just seen people in my life who AA had failed, and I was really just, I was arrogant, and I thought that my idea was the best idea. But it wasn't. And when I got to JIR, like, it just, everything clicked for me. And I just, for the first time in my life, like that I was able to speak without shame. Like, we had this really small meeting with Chris one day, and I broke down and I cried, and I shared some things about myself that I'd never shared with people before. And I shared those things with no shame saying them, because I felt heard. So I left the gathering with this lightness in my heart because of it. And I had plans to be involved in JIR, but I still didn't plan on going to AA. Until like literally a week after the gathering, I got back, and the guy that I had been dating at the time really turned out to be like a huge kind of asshole to me. And I reverted back to my old thought patterns, and I called Chris, and he answered while on a roller coaster, my call, and told me, he's like, will you go to a meeting for me today? And I was like such a people pleaser that I was like, yeah, I'll do it for you, and so I slowly started going to AA, and I was going to the meetings, and I was feeling something, but I wasn't like fully ready to jumpstart it until I had a really bad day at work a few months ago, after still getting more involved with JIR, that I went and I blew my entire bank account. Like, I spent thousands of dollars in one day on bullshit, just because like I had to feel something. And I literally, like, I had to borrow money from a friend to drive home from Mississippi. Like, it was so embarrassing. And I was like, oh, this is the whole my life is unmanageable thing that's happening to me right now. And it doesn't matter that I'm not even drinking anymore. Like, my life is still so unmanageable because I am at my fucking core an addict, and I will do anything I can to release my shame temporarily somehow. And I will do that in any way of disguising it without actually working on it. So I went to a meeting that night, and this woman got called up to speak, and she talked about how she was like going through a divorce and how she wasn't drinking anymore but still felt that unmanageability, and how this program is the only thing that kept her like going through it. And I was like, that's it, that's the woman that I want to be my sponsor. So I've been working with her ever since, and we've been working the steps together, and it's like it's changed my fucking life. Like I have said things in the past few months that I never thought I would say, and this like feeling of peace that I have inside of me, like knowing I'm still working towards where I want to be, but like I'm not embarrassed to be me anymore, which is like something that I really never thought I could accomplish. You know, like it just felt so ingrained as a part of me. Like as much as like my eyes are blue, I'm embarrassed to be myself, you know? So yeah, it's been going pretty well so far. And honestly, like I I know that I had to do things when I was ready. Part of me shoots myself in the foot for like, you could have saved yourself so much fucking suffering, but I love suffering. Like it's I love to suffer. And my life over the past few months has just become between JIR and AA and like my dad being in the program too and us bonding over it. Like I'm really starting to have a beautiful life and a life that I never thought I could. So I think that's all I have in my little notes.
Damn, son. Let's get a giant whoop whoop. Me personally, I think Emmy just fucking crushed it. I mean that was dope to start to get to know you. I mean, we've had plenty of conversations, but I've never had a rundown of your story. I know you're in New Orleans, and I can so relate. I've said that so many times when I speak. Like I knew long before I was I had a drink or a drug in my body before that I crossed that line that we talk about, that proverbial line of no return, that I was an addict and alcoholic. You know, I was
Yeah.
a 5 year old hoarding sweets and sodas in my room, taking steak knives and lighters to school and blaming it on my baby brother and diapers. Like I did addict shit way before I came to cross that line or I started using every day. And even like your story, like I would use more than other people would use. I would drink and then throw up and keep drinking. I would use nonstop. Everybody else was good and feeling it. I just wanted more, 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 more. There's always more. To the point where I push away every single friend, kind of like you were talking about, special rules being made, or people don't want to be around you as much. And I can totally relate to that. Never, like even in the rooms of the 12 steps rooms, not really feeling a part of, you know what I mean? Like, and when I found Juggalos in recovery and I hit my first gathering, like feeling completely at home, at myself, at peace, you know. And I dove head first in this, but I had been in and out of the rooms and never wanted to give up my will or follow anybody else's suggestions because I thought I was so terminally unique that I could do it my own way and it
Yeah.
would work out. And all it was years and years of misery trying to do it my own way. Just like you said, you had that moment, like you knew your shit was unmanageable, and every time you picked up, you caused chaos, and it's bad during the holidays. And by the grace of the higher power of yours or whoever it was at that time, you left all that shit in the car and started your journey without knowing why. But then you sat there 18 months, you know, with character defects, the Lord punishing you. I had 5.5 years of what I called my sobriety time, where I did all this searching, but I never did a program of action to do any change myself. You know what I mean? I didn't work on defects. I was just angry at myself, angry at the world. I hated everyone and hated myself for everything that I had done. And like when I finally like worked the program and got like a sponsor and started doing some real like observations about myself, I had learned that I was the maker of my own creating to everything that's happened in my life. When I could accept that I played a part in all my shit, you know what I mean? And then I have all these defects and I'm super fucked up and I start working on them, I get some sort of ease and comfort that I was searching with a drink or a drug my whole life, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I start to become my true self and be comfortable in my own skin. And definitely like having this group has helped me grow because like when I found JR Juggalos in Recovery, I was like 2 years sober. I was feeling stagnant. I didn't know where I was going, what direction. Nothing was helping me grow anymore. And then I found this group that just like empowered me and helped me grow more and more into my true self. And that was the beautiful part of it, was something that I wasn't getting from the other 12 step programs I was attending, you know, that real fellowship, that real community, that blood raw talk about anything, the fun and joking and being yourself and nobody being crazy about it, like what is said, you know. And
Yeah,
that
well,
was the
even like
beautiful thing, you
Nate
know.
said, like we were talking about this a few weeks ago in another meeting, like, and you know, there's that whole thing about AA, like at the end of the preamble, like we are those who would normally not mix, and you know, Nate brought it up, like why this group is so powerful is we are people who would mix. Like you and I, if we ran into each other at a corner store, like we would strike up a conversation. You know what I mean? Like we are people that would hang out outside of sobriety, but to have that extra level of bond and like to know that not only do we have this thing in common that like already, and like I'm not going to sit here and say like juggalos are like an oppressed group or anything like that, but like we know what it's like to be ostracized. Like none of us are here because we were like the really like well put together cool kid in high school, you know what I mean? We already have this feeling of struggle and you know commitment to our suffering on so many levels that I think when we can find each other it's really fucking beautiful.
Exactly, you know, and what I had to learn through going to a lot of meetings is to relate to the emotions and the defects and those things, and not necessarily the background of the people. That's the only way I get anything out of it. But when it comes to like juggalos and recovery and juggalos, we're all the misfits, outcasts that come from a similar sorts of backgrounds and the crazy drug induced culture party lifestyle that comes with it, and we're all overcoming the same thing. But anyways, Monster has a hand show. Concrete looks like you want to say something. Y'all can all, you know, just take your turn, unmute your mic and say whatever you want.
You rose your hand, monster. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say what Emily said about struggling to come to terms with self-hate is pretty relatable. I feel that even now. Like, agree with you. It's like kind of like an ash in your mouth feeling. Everything you touch turns to gold, but you can't actually feel pride or accomplishment from it. I went the opposite way though of you instead of food. I got addicted to self-starving, bulimia. And it's feeling like you have to look a certain way, act a certain way to get people to like you or actually value you. Like you said, there's a little bit of performance that goes into it because you don't feel like they can actually love you for you.
Right. And then
That
like
was really relatable.
any real show, any like show of love or like that I didn't have to work for, I'm like, this is a trick. Like you can't just like me. Like what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I feel that same even now. Learning to tackle it or like how to tackle it is like kind of a question mark too.
And that's another thing you learn the longer you stay sober and you work a program though, because like when I first got sober, I had people that genuinely loved me and cared about me when I still hated myself, and it was the most weird feeling. Or having somebody wanting to walk up and hug you and you don't even really know them, and it's like, bro, like why would you love me? You don't know who I am, but they just love the broken addict and want to see them win in life. And when you can get your head wrapped around that somebody honestly cares, wants to see you overcome your own shit and be a better person, then like it's easier to accept, you know.
Yeah, getting there is tough because it's often like you want something from me or you're waiting for like a day from now to stab me in the back and get me.
We have someone named Sasha with their hand up too.
Yeah, Sasha, go ahead, unmute yourself, lower your hand, speak.
Hi. I am in a point where I do a lot of I call it like self-sabotaging, where like I'll be riding like a high of just feeling really good, and have like a lot of good luck, and then I just end up like in my brain. I don't think I like actually sometimes really purposely do it, but like I'll start harping on something that makes me feel like complete shit, and then like just really focus on it for a long time, and like I've been trying to really break out of it. Because I feel like I inadvertently like deprive myself of any happiness sometimes. And just like I used to like self-medicate myself just to not feel like that, but now like that I've broken out of it, I now realize everything wrong that I do. And I have been going to therapy of like a therapist that really focuses on like self-love and breaking out of that. And it's actually been pretty helpful because I do catch myself like doing it sometimes and being like, okay, don't do that shit. That's stupid as fuck. But yeah, I think I'm at that stage of really trying to break out of any sort of self-sabotaging shit that I do. So I relate to that.
Yeah, it's really fucking hard. And like I do feel like I'm getting better. I'll look at myself like a month at a time, and be like, okay, like I've come farther than I was last month because I would do that too. And like especially when I was like around like even a year sober, like I would ruminate on shit so much. And like I remember like going through Instagram on my phone and being like, oh, this person must hate me because of some like imaginary thing I like made up in my head. And I would get so bent out of shape about it. And I have learned that I have to like monitor my own social media behavior because I'll like read into clues that aren't there. And because I'll get stuck on it. So like I was able to break down and be like, okay, that's an issue to work on that. But even still, like the other day, I was walking my dog and he's got like a weird thing. He's a rescue. He's got like a weird thing for like flowy fabrics. And like he'll like nip at people's like baggy pants if they have them. And this lady was walking down the street and she asked if she could say hi. And I was like, yeah, he's friendly. And she was wearing like bell-bottom sleeves. And he pulled at her sleeve and he accidentally like snagged her skin a little bit. And I like profusely apologized a million times, but the rest of the day I like was mad at myself about it. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm a bad dog owner. Like, I'm a bad person. My dog just basically bit somebody. And like, I was going on and on about it, even though like he's never like snagged skin like that before. And like, freak shit happens. But I like literally spent hours just like telling myself like that I don't deserve to have an animal because that happened. So like it really like we get so obsessed with like hating ourselves, and I think at some point it just becomes comfortable, you know. It's this behavior that we're used to. It's like sucking our fucking thumb at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I definitely relate to that a lot because like part of my brain is like I genuinely want help and I do everything I can to try to get help, but then I still go in the cycle of doing this shit and it's like really hypocritical.
Well, it's not that. Like like so in the 12-step programs, like in the big book, it talks about like the alcoholic being the perfectionist, right? So as a perfectionist, we tend to be our own worst critics, right? And we notice all these defects, but unless you work consistently on your defects and spot them when they come up, and then like change your perception or your mindset depending on what you're going through, like it just keeps happening again and again. Like my first year, I bought so much shit trying to fill that void, like Emily talked to me about when she was going through it, just to try to make myself feel better. And that little temporary 5-10 minute thing of I got something new that I feel good about that I don't care about in a week is senseless. Or I got a new tattoo, or I get scratch offs to get that little dopamine rush at the possibility of winning money, and I end up losing money. Just stupid shit that we do, right? Or knowing I shouldn't act or behave a certain way towards somebody else. Or like you said, reading and trying to assume what people are thinking or saying and what they mean by it, right? I would do all those things, right? And that's just me like wanting to be the actor and the director and try to control the show, and then me trying to make sure everything in life is perfect, and if everything just goes the way I planned, then I'll feel good, when ultimately it's a self thing, you know, like you're talking about. It's all about the self-love, the self-help, and the self-growing. You know, as long as you realize that you're a human, you have flaws, and you work at them, and not to be so hard on yourself, because the real fact is most normal people in life have defects and faults galore and will never admit they're wrong or see they have a problem or work to change on anything they have. But us doing this, we become some of the best possible humans you could be by overcoming these things that we do see as defaults and character defects that are not fucking normal, or shouldn't be acceptable to us or other people, right? Where other people, they don't see that and they just go on with their nasty attitudes and lifestyles their whole life and think the world is the problem and everybody's to blame and not them. you know so don't be hard on yourself. Just when you see things pop up, try to change your perception on it or your outlook on it and try to work on it gradually. And me, I just got 5 years sober in November, and I still have defects, I still have issues, but the good thing is I can notice them when they pop up and I can correct them. And I think Nate has his hand rose. Go ahead, big dog.
Yeah. Thank you for your story, Emily. Awesome to hear the whole thing. So the dog story that you just told is hilarious because that happens to me. Like my dog gets a little crazy, and I think the same thing. Like, damn, I'm a bad dog owner or whatever. And it's weird that I still go there. I'm 6 years into almost 6 years into being sober, and I still have these defects of character where I just, like Dee was just talking about, where I just don't feel like I'm good enough or anything I do is ever good enough. And it doesn't even matter, like, in my brain who it is. It's not good enough for me. Like, and I get into this like self-hate thing. But I think about when I was using and where I'm at now is so much more amazing. So I can't really beat myself up because of how far I've gone. Like, I used to get just blackout drunk, and I remember, like, now screaming at, like, my wife, like, you don't love me. How can you love me? You know what I mean? And we had 2 kids together, and we're like, married and shit. And I'm like, you can't love me. Like, I still don't understand the love that people show sometimes, and it's weird for me. But like where we're at now compared to where, come on, it's so much better, and it's always a work in progress. Yeah, I don't know. That's really all I have. But yeah, amazing. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks,
Beautiful.
Nate.
Yep.
Concrete.
Let's see. Yeah, I remember when I first started, like, I wish this program was around, like, or I knew about it, like, when I started, because, yeah, I pretty much had to just accept the fact that not everybody in these groups were going to accept me, and just participate and get through it. It's really nice to be involved with a group that actually kind of, likes my ideas and has a lot more value in me as a person. Because, like Emily said, we would connect even if we weren't all in recovery. Like, and that's truly awesome. But yeah, I find myself doing destructive behavior, just put myself in a lot of debt this year, but I had a great fucking year. But, like, I just because I believe in myself, and but sometimes I ask myself, it's just like, am I, like, these shows are doing me a lot of good, but at the same time, it's just like me hunting for validation. And it's just like that. Like, you do a huge show like that, it's a temporary feeling, and then you got to go do it again and again and again and again and again, And I have to put myself in front of somebody else's audience. Otherwise, if I just did local shows, they'd all be small, Seems to be paying off. Like, somehow most of a big number of my monthly listeners is in Florida, which is cool.
It's all Dickie.
What?
I said it's LD.
Yeah, no, I push you hard. I do push you hard. I fuck with you heavy. And I mean, so I get the thing as a music artist, right? But the thing is, if music's your passion, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to touch people with your message through music, you know what I mean, in whatever way you can, right? Then are you really just chasing validation, or are you doing what you love, right? And at the end of the day, life's too short. You ain't taking nothing when you leave anyway. So as long as your bills are paid, you got a roof over your head, you got food to eat, and you're just living your life to the fullest and doing what you love and enjoy, and it's not harming you and it's not harming the people you care about, like, is it really a bad thing? You know?
It's a lot healthier than the validation I was chasing when I was out there. You know,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not in a meth pipe. You're not in a fucking trap house. You're doing something you love that's a healthy outlet for you. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're living on your character defects and you're just doing it for the clout and the fucking groupies and all that. You're doing it because it's something you enjoy to do. Which, if everybody could get paid to do what they're passionate about, the world would be a better place.
yeah, and I need to build up my self-esteem and start setting a price for certain situations. Like, I got this empathetic thing where it's like I don't want anybody to lose money over me. But yeah, I mean it's better than yeah, me trying to fill an empty void with a bunch of sex and like searching for validation to women that aren't my type. Like that's what I was doing before, and like, got to the point where I wasn't even focusing on my music career, which is something I swore I never do. They watch a bunch of other rappers do it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
people
that's
just
that's that searching for that love you don't feel about yourself, and that sense of ease and comfort that you don't feel anywhere else. You know, that's what we do as addicts in or out of addiction, bro. And like, once you learn to love yourself, you don't need nobody else. Like, the world gets better because people notice people that don't need anybody else to make them happy, and you attract other people because they want that same thing. Because a lot of people spend their lives seeking validation or love from other people and don't like themselves, and then they just see you like not give a fuck about what anybody has to say, and that attracts them because they want to know how you're doing that, you know, with such levity. It's crazy.
that's how I attracted the woman that set me on the downward spiral before. I set myself on the downward spiral, but and now I'm starting to attract more right now, and I'm just kind of like fucking swerving because like I know where it's gonna take me.
Well, there's always going to be some crabs in a bucket trying to pull you down. Those are the ones you got to avoid. Skylar, your hands raised. You can run it when you want.
It's
Skylar,
really relatable what Sasha, Nate, and Concrete were talking about, along with you, Emily, about self-sabotage and how you were saying like your dog did something, it was just a freak accident, but still like you got stuck on it for like a day or three. It's hard to, especially what Sasha was saying, like how do you kind of like start to break out of that pattern, because self-realizing is hard. I know, like, even like you guys, like, shit, dude, I fucking just finished school and I did advanced physics, biochem, and like this like 2 research classes, and I was telling myself I deserve to die because I got like I did really bad in one class, even though it just wasn't a great atmosphere. You know, like where you, like, you know, where the environment's not great and you can't perform great, but you still do your best. But still, I was like, call myself like a fuck up. Oh, like I don't deserve to have anything nice. Like I can never succeed. And I mean, straight up, like even though I did good in like 3 other classes, it was like you couldn't recognize the grass for the other side. And it's the same thing with like other minor things in life too. Like I know, really over self-critical when, or self-sabotaging, when I feel like I don't get a good reaction out of people. Like it'll be like, oh, how was your day? Just okay. And it'll be like, shit, why didn't I have something better to say? Yeah, the self-sabotage and like overly self-critical or self-mindset is really prevalent. I feel you guys on that.
Like Nate was saying, when you can take perspective of where you were at when you were out there, right, and you're drinking and drugging, and like your biggest dream was just to stay high and not die or go to jail or whatever the case may be, right? Your biggest hopes were not nothing like what they are right now. Like that's part of it, but the other part is when you can realize that you can. There's only three things you have control over in your life: it's how you feel, how you act, and what you say, right? So when you can let go that you have no control over any other person, place, or thing in your life, none at all, to make any outcome different, right? Then you have to realize all I can do is the things that affect me personally, right? So if in my head I say a lot of things negatively about myself, it's that affects how I feel, right? So like for me in early recovery, because I had that a lot of that self hatred and that self sabotage shit. Like in my head, when I would, because I'd always go, "Oh man, I'm a fucking piece of shit," or "Nobody loves me," or "I'm worthless." I would immediately, when that thought popped in my head, I had to use affirmations like, "No, I am worthy." Like, "No, I do love myself." Like, "No, life is good right now." Even if it wasn't, I had to lie to myself so much persistently until those feelings became true. You know what I mean? And a lot of people do things to provoke an action out of you. You know what I mean? And all you do is you let the other person hold power out of you when they get some sort of action or reaction from you that they were looking for. But when you can keep a smile on your face, no matter what's going on, and just be cordial with whoever that person is, right? You still have that power because you're still in a good mindset and you're still in a good space. You know what I mean? And some people they feed off the chaos and the drama. They want that shit from you, right? So, and then not just how you act, but what you say to somebody else, right? There's like a rule to it, you know. Does this need to be said? Think about that before you say it. Does it need to be said by me? And doesn't need to be said right now. If you can answer no to any of those three things, you just don't let it come out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, because somebody might have 100 other things going on in their life that has nothing to do with the interaction with you, that makes something about that interaction go sideways, and you don't know what else is going on in somebody else's personal life, so you can't like take anything too personal in that aspect. And then there was another thing I was told: what anybody says or feel about me is none of my business, right? Because if I'm worried about what anybody else says or feels about me, all that's going to do is fuck up my whole mentality and perception of myself in life. Hands are raised and Crazy Dave joined. Go ahead and y'all shoot it.
I have a quick question. Hold on. How many of y'all have iPhones? Why can't I hear anything? I can't.
I do.
You do?
You know I don't. We talked about this the other day.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, I got
I
one.
don't know. Okay. I just had somebody tell me yesterday they couldn't come to the meetings because she had an iPhone, so now I can tell her she's full of shit. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Cap. All right, Maze, you're good. No.
All right, yeah. I was gonna talk about that affirmations and fucking self-hate shit. Like back in the day, like every time I walk past a mirror, every time I fucking see myself, I'd just be like, I fucking hate you. Like you're a fucking monster, and I fucking hate you. Like, and I didn't realize at the time that shit was taking a fucking toll on me. I was just seeing myself, and I had been a fucking, I had to be fucking hard because of where the fuck I grew up at, bro. Like, I've just always fucking hyped myself up in that way, like you're a fucking monster, like fucking that shit, like was destroying me. And what fucking fixed me, like what helped is I just started fucking lying to myself in a fucking mirror. You go up and be like, you know what? You're fucking perfect. I love you. You're doing fucking great. And fucking, at first, though, it was bullshit. But I challenge every fucking one of you to fucking start complimenting yourself. When you go by the fucking mirror and you see yourself, you're in there washing your hands after going to the bathroom, give yourself a fucking compliment. Even if you think it's complete and total bullshit, like fucking compliment yourself. And fucking eventually, after a while of doing this, it's going to sink the fuck in and you're going to stop hating yourself as much. Like I challenge all of you to do this.
You're absolutely right, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. You had to do that. That's what I had to do in early recovery. You're absolutely right, bro. Because if you spend 10, 12, 18 years feeling that way and doing the things you do and drinking and drugging, that is a trained behavior and a trained thought pattern that you have to do something to overcome it. And that takes time. That's why they're called character defects. And that's why you have to work on them long term. That's why I said even 5 years sober, sometimes I catch myself doing that. And I'm like, fuck no. No, no, no. Like, get that thought out of my head and replace it with another one.
So I'm like,
Hello.
What's up, Sasha? You got your hand raised. Welcome, Demonic, and whoever else just joined. Bruce.
what up?
I relate to what Mage says. My therapist a couple months ago started to pick up on how I would basically call myself stupid anytime I did something I thought was stupid. And she told me this thing where for example, you spill something on the floor and you're like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. She basically told me to respin that, and anytime I do that, to start saying something nice about myself and being like, oh, shit happens and stuff. And at first I was like, oh, that's fucking corny as fuck. But honestly, it's been really helpful. And I've been catching myself saying stupid shit about myself, but I think I will start complimenting myself in the mirror because it seems pretty fucking helpful.
It really is. We've talked on that so many times in so many meetings. Chris is one of the main ones that push that. Me too, Frank, because it's really your mindset and your perception is the key to life, to everything. You know what I mean? And if you could shake all those negative mindsets and perceptions of yourself and the world around you, everything changes. Anybody else want to share on anything? Even if you're late and you didn't get to hear Emily kill it?
Whoop whoop, she definitely did kill it.
Thanks, Monster.
That's why there's
Just now starting on my journey with getting rid of the alcohol.
Fuck yeah.
And I didn't drink.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I've seen your messages on the Juggalos and Recovery page. Thanks for coming out, man. Congratulations. Welcome to your new life.
We were having dinner with the family, and I'm like, maybe I can slide in there late. I appreciate y'all having me.
So you kicking a cold turkey on your own? Oh, that's rough. Be careful now. That's rough. Alcohol is one of them only things that can kill your ass from detoxing. So just be careful, take it easy, lots of fluids, eat good, don't try to push too hard into anything, and just every day, it's day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, man. The first 72 are the worst, but after that it gets easier. Get you some people's phone numbers and some people to talk to. That way, if you got the urge to run up to the store and grab something, you can just talk to somebody else before you do it.
I fought the urge all day yesterday. I'm like, man, it's New Year's. I want to go get a bottle, but I never did.
Fuck
yeah. And the last time I did drink was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Hell yeah, congratulations. That's rough. Holiday season, kicking it cold turkey too? I commend you for that. I usually only kick it in a jail cell cold turkey because the handcuffs get put on me.
Right there with you, bro.
All right, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to end this live recording in the stream so we can do whatever.
I just want to say, welcome to all the new people coming and showing up to these. Even if you just sit here and listen, just take whatever you can with you. Like they say, take what you